A year ago I posted a video about my bachelor project. I wanted to be done with it and not touch it again, but I find myself countless nights thinking about it and I can't really give it up. There are still stories I want to tell with this character. One thing I did is make a new design for him, and today I would like to show you some progress on the modeling and yap about it. I was unhappy with the overall Japanese samurai-esque influence of the design. I wanted something that's more neutral and just kinda really edgy. In the original project I determined that I wanted the art style to be retro. In hindsight, that is just an empty word. In my opinion, something like an art style should be defined more clearly. Retro is not an art style, it's an emotion or a vibe. It's inherently subjective based on what games you grew up playing. So instead I tried to figure out what I like about the games that I consider retro. I like images that are easy to read. I think that is one of the biggest appeals of low poly. The visuals are broken down to the essentials and a lot of the aesthetics come from good shape design. So I started off with the base human mesh I had started to make in the past. I was trying to strike a balance between the typical anime style games like Punishing the Ravens or Moving Waves, but was also studying models from Devil May Cry 2. Every once in a while I would try to paint digitally, watch some videos on the topic, and oddly enough it helped me in this 3D process. You might have also noticed I am not using a turnaround image of a character design. I think most people would recommend to work with them. They give you a precise shape to work with after all. But for me it was good to not rely on them. This really helped me to think three-dimensionally of a character. I did pull in an image at some point, but that was just for general height proportions. For full transparency, the reference image I used for the skeleton arm is not by me. There's a link on the picture, but it leads to an empty DeviantArt page, so I assume it's not the original creator. Otherwise, I would have loved to give some shout out to them. I'm not 100% sure about texturing. I still have a lot to learn about it. But again, I like something that is easy to read. Low resolution textures or too many details are somewhat noisy in my opinion, so I'm trying to focus on a good color choices by making an emissive shader and working with solid colors and gradients, with exceptions on some crucial details like the face, which is just a texture for now. An emissive shader is a shader that by default does not interact with the light of a scene, which allows us to work with vibrant colors. By the way, if you intend to make something in this style, make sure to set the color management and the render settings to standard, otherwise the color of the texture will look different in Blender. This turned out to be quite challenging, but in a fun way, especially since he's completely isometrical. I know that my workflow isn't really optimized for efficiency right now, which is usually a priority in 3D, it's so much work after all, but sometimes you gotta take a clunky approach to learn something. If you keep optimizing, you might end up doing nothing after all. So what does it mean for the future of this project? I don't like to make promises on YouTube, but it turns out that I have to do another semester, and I'm using this as a chance to sort of revive this project. In a sense, I'm starting from zero though. I've decided to no longer use the Unreal Engine. I don't think it really fits my priorities right now. I'm currently spending a lot of time in Godot, but I'm also interested in the Flex engine and the Open 3D engine. So it's safe to assume that I will need to spend a lot of time in learning things that I was able to create quickly in Unreal, which means I will probably not do something crazy for now. Also, by the way, since I'm moving away from the Japanese theme of a character, this project's codename will no longer be One-Armed Samurai, but One-Armed Swordsman. So that's it for now. I'm currently rigging and in wayne painting hell, so I don't know when I'll have another update.